The glittering lights of Hollywood often conceal a much darker, highly volatile reality that unfolds behind the closed doors of production studios and prestigious courtroom chambers. It is a world where public perception is meticulously crafted, yet the legal battles waging beneath the surface can dismantle reputations and financial empires in the blink of an eye. For months, the entertainment industry has been captivated by an escalating feud between two of its most prominent figures, a narrative filled with unexpected twists, massive financial stakes, and a profound clash of egos. This cinematic drama did not play out on the silver screen, but rather in the stark, uncompromising arena of the American legal system. As the public watches with bated breath, the latest chapter in this high-stakes saga introduces a new wave of tension, pushing the boundaries of legal strategy and personal endurance. It is a story that forces us to question the true cost of fame and the lengths to which individuals will go to protect their names and their fortunes in an unforgiving spotlight. If you want to stay informed on every major development in this gripping Hollywood standoff and receive deep dives into the industry's biggest controversies, please take a brief moment to subscribe to our channel and turn on all notifications so you never miss an update. The foundation of this current legal showdown is rooted in a professional partnership that quickly deteriorated into a bitter, multi-million-dollar war of attrition. What began as an ambitious artistic collaboration soon devolved into a labyrinth of mutual accusations, public relations maneuvers, and aggressive litigation. In the glamorous world of cinema, creative differences are common, but rarely do they escalate into a legal conflict of this magnitude, drawing in elite bicoastal law firms and dominating headlines for nearly 2 years. The sheer scale of the financial demands and the severity of the allegations have elevated this dispute from a standard Hollywood disagreement into a historic legal precedent. Industry insiders have watched with fascination as both sides deployed complex legal tactics, transforming the initial conflict into a sprawling chess match where every motion, letter, and filing is calculated for maximum impact. The public is left to wonder how a shared creative vision could fracture so completely, leaving behind a trail of broken alliances and staggering legal bills that continue to accumulate with each passing day. At the center of this escalating legal tempest is a celebrated actress known for her iconic roles, impeccable style, and influential presence within the global entertainment landscape. Having captivated audiences for over a decade, she has successfully transitioned from a beloved television star into a powerhouse film actress and entrepreneur. Her career has been defined by a series of high-profile projects and a carefully curated public persona that commands immense respect. However, this ongoing courtroom battle represents one of the most challenging chapters of her professional life, threatening to overshadow her cinematic achievements and demand an unprecedented amount of her time and energy. Facing a critical deadline imposed by the federal court, her legal team has recently thrown a significant wrench into the proceedings, highlighting the immense pressure and scheduling chaos that comes with balancing an international career alongside a relentless, multi-front legal battle that shows no signs of slowing down. Opposing her in this fierce judicial arena is an accomplished actor and director who has built a reputation for tackling emotionally resonant and socially conscious projects. Known for his charismatic television roles and his transition into directing poignant, high-grossing feature films, he has long positioned himself as a thoughtful storyteller dedicated to exploring complex human experiences. Yet, his career trajectory has been severely disrupted by the explosive fallout of their collaboration, leading to a massive defamation lawsuit that originally sought a staggering $400 million in damages. Though that colossal claim was ultimately dismissed by a federal judge late last year, the residual legal tremors continued to shake his professional foundation. The financial and reputational stakes remain astronomically high as he finds himself forced back into the courtroom, defending against a relentless push to hold him financially accountable for the extraordinary expenses incurred during the initial phase of their bitter dispute. The latest development in this protracted legal warfare occurred on a Tuesday, when the actress's legal counsel submitted a formal letter to the court that exposed the immense logistical strain this battle is placing on everyone involved. The document revealed that she is currently facing severe difficulties in meeting a looming June 22 deadline, which had been strictly established by the court for her to file an initial brief detailing the exact measure of legal fees she believes her former co-star owes her. Her legal team argued that a combination of frantic professional obligations and conflicting personal schedules has made compliance with the current timeline nearly impossible. The letter painted a picture of a chaotic, fast-paced environment filled with international travel and urgent commitments that have temporarily stalled the progression of her legal strategy. This request for a temporary pause underscores the sheer exhaustion and complexity that arises when massive Hollywood careers collide head-on with the rigid, unyielding demands of the federal judiciary. According to the official documents obtained by investigative journalists, the actress's legal representatives explicitly stated that they are managing a number of overlapping, highly demanding obligations that span across multiple continents. A key factor in this requested delay involves one of her lead attorneys, a prominent partner at the prestigious Wilkie law firm, who is currently out of the country on urgent business. This specific attorney is responsible for reviewing, verifying, and approving all meticulous billing submissions, as well as signing the critical affidavits required by the court to substantiate the massive financial claims being made against the director. Without his direct oversight and signature, the legal team argues that they cannot present a complete or accurate accounting of the fees. Consequently, the actress has formally petitioned the court for an additional 7 days, a brief extension that she hopes will allow her legal heavyweight to return, organize the extensive documentation, and formally submit the comprehensive brief without compromising the integrity of her case. This strategic maneuver for additional time comes exactly 2 weeks after a deceptive period of calm, during which many industry analysts mistakenly believed the hostilities between the two stars had finally concluded. In May, the pair had seemingly reached a comprehensive settlement regarding a series of highly sensitive and damaging lawsuits, including severe allegations of workplace misconduct during the production of their shared film. That settlement was supposed to mark the end of their public warfare, yet just days later, the actress initiated a bold new legal offensive, bringing the director back before Judge Lewis Liman to address the unresolved issue of financial restitution. The sudden resurgence of litigation caught many by surprise, demonstrating that, despite the formal settlement of their initial grievances, the underlying bitterness and the battle over millions of dollars in legal fees remain completely unresolved. Ensuring that this Hollywood drama will continue to play out in the halls of justice for the foreseeable future. The courtroom of Judge Lewis Liman has become the intense backdrop for this evolving legal thriller, a place where the glamorous illusions of show business are systematically stripped away to reveal a cold, mathematical conflict over millions of dollars. To fully understand the current escalation and the sheer tension dominating this case, one must examine the dramatic events of last November, which set this entire secondary battle in motion. It was during that crucial period that the federal court delivered a devastating blow to the director's legal strategy by throwing out his massive $400 million defamation lawsuit against the actress. That staggering lawsuit had originally been filed in a desperate bid to clear his name and salvage his reputation following a wave of damaging public allegations that threatened to permanently derail his career. The director had argued that a coordinated smear campaign had cost him invaluable future projects and obliterated his standing as a bankable Hollywood filmmaker. However, the judge ultimately found that the legal thresholds for defamation had not been met, effectively dismantling the director's primary weapon and leaving him highly vulnerable to a powerful counteroffensive, with the defamation lawsuit officially dismissed. The actress and her elite legal team immediately shifted from a defensive posture to a highly aggressive pursuit of financial retribution. They argued that the $400 million claim was not only entirely baseless, but that it was intentionally designed to intimidate her and inflict maximum financial and emotional distress. Consequently, the actress launched a relentless campaign demanding that her former co-star cover every single penny of the astronomical legal fees and court costs she had incurred while defending herself against his failed lawsuit. In the world of high-stakes litigation, forcing the opposing party to pay legal fees is a difficult legal standard to achieve, usually requiring proof that the original suit was frivolous or brought in bad faith. Yet, on June 12, Judge Liman delivered a monumental decision that shifted the balance of power entirely, ruling that the director must indeed pay the actress's legal fees related to the dismissed defamation suit. This ruling was a massive victory for the actress, but it opened up an entirely new, highly contentious phase of the battle. as the court must now meticulously assess the exact amount of money that will be transferred between the two embattled stars. This judicial assessment is precisely what triggered the intense maneuvering surrounding the current deadlines, as both legal teams recognize that the final number could be absolutely staggering. In Hollywood, when elite bicoastal firms are employed to fight a multi-million-dollar federal case over the course of nearly 2 years, the billable hours accumulate at an unprecedented rate. Every single motion, deposition, research brief, and court appearance involves teams of highly paid attorneys, paralegals, and forensic experts working around the clock. The actress's demand is not a mere symbolic gesture. It represents a massive financial claim that could significantly impact the director's personal wealth and future production capabilities. This explains why the actress's legal team is fighting so hard for a 7-day extension to perfect their brief, ensuring that every single hour billed by the Wilkie firm is thoroughly documented, justified, and presented in a manner that the court cannot easily reduce or reject. They are preparing a mountain of financial evidence, and the director's team is waiting like hawks to challenge any perceived inflation or lack of clarity in those submissions, to fully grasp the deep-seated animosity driving this financial warfare. It is essential to look back at the explosive events of May, when the pair initially attempted to settle their differences outside of court. That initial lawsuit, filed in 2024, contained shocking and deeply damaging allegations that shook the industry to its core, with the actress claiming that the director had subjected her to persistent sexual harassment on the set of their highly anticipated film. The allegations painted a grim picture of an incredibly toxic workplace environment, marred by inappropriate behavior, abuse of power, and a total breakdown of professional boundaries. The director fiercely denied these claims, leading to months of brutal public relations warfare and intense legal posturing that threatened to permanently ruin both of their careers. When the settlement was announced in May, the public breathed a sigh of relief, believing that a dark chapter had finally closed. However, the terms of that settlement revealed a bizarre and highly unusual financial reality that only served to fuel the underlying tension. The official court documents detailing that May settlement revealed that neither the actress nor the director walked away with a single dollar in direct compensation from each other. In terms of personal payouts, the settlement was an absolute wash, resulting in a $0 conclusion to some of the most severe workplace allegations Hollywood had seen in years. Yet, while the principal actors received nothing, the true financial scale of this conflict was exposed by well-placed sources within the Hollywood legal community, who revealed that their respective legal teams managed to rake in a combined total of $60 million throughout the lengthy process. This staggering sum highlights the terrifying cost of modern celebrity litigation, where the only guaranteed winners are the law firms orchestrating the warfare. The knowledge that $60 million had already vanished into the pockets of attorneys helps explain why the actress is now so fiercely pursuing the reimbursement of her separate defamation fees, and why the director is fighting just as desperately to avoid being saddled with yet another massive financial burden that could cripple his future endeavors. Now, as the director faces the daunting prospect of paying a massive court-ordered fee to his former rival, the actress is already moving forward with her eyes firmly fixed on the future. Emerging from the shadow of these intense scandals and grueling courtroom battles, she is reportedly plotting a major, highly calculated Hollywood comeback designed to re-establish her dominance at the global box office. Known for her sharp business acumen and her ability to capture the public's imagination, she is actively reviewing new scripts, exploring high-profile production deals, and re-engaging with top-tier directors to ensure her return to the screen is nothing short of spectacular. This comeback strategy relies heavily on achieving a clean, total victory in her ongoing legal matters, allowing her to step back into the spotlight, unburdened by unresolved controversies or lingering financial liabilities. The current battle over legal fees is the final obstacle blocking her path to complete professional vindication, making every single filing, deadline extension, and judicial decision a critical piece of a much larger, incredibly ambitious master plan to reclaim her throne in the entertainment industry. The determination of the actress to orchestrate a triumphant return to the apex of the entertainment industry underscores a profound truth about the nature of modern celebrity culture, where the boundaries between professional triumph, personal survival, and legal vindication are permanently blurred. This final phase of her legal strategy is not merely an attempt to recoup millions of dollars in attorney fees, but a calculated effort to achieve total narrative dominance over a conflict that once threatened to define her legacy. By forcing the director to financially account for his failed defamation lawsuit, she is seeking a definitive judicial stamp of approval that will effectively silence her critics and allow her to re-enter the Hollywood arena with an untarnished reputation. Her journey through this grueling process has transformed her from a standard Hollywood superstar into a battle-tested mogul who understands how to utilize the federal court system to protect her brand, her financial interests, and her long-term standing in a deeply competitive and often fickle industry. To fully appreciate the gravity of this situation, one must look at the remarkable trajectory of both individuals involved, whose careers were destined to clash in one of the most explosive creative partnerships in recent memory. The actress had spent years meticulously building an empire, transitioning seamlessly from a teenage fashion icon on a wildly successful television drama into a highly respected leading lady and a savvy entrepreneur with a string of lucrative business ventures. She had built a reputation for having a golden touch where every project she touched turned into a cultural phenomenon. When she signed on to co-star in and produce the highly anticipated adaptation of a best-selling romantic drama novel, it was supposed to be the ultimate showcase of her multifaceted talents, a project that would cement her status as a creative force capable of controlling both sides of the camera. Instead, the production became a breeding ground for intense professional friction, creative disputes, and a profound philosophical divide over how the sensitive narrative should be brought to life. The director's journey was equally compelling, marked by a passionate dedication to storytelling that explored deep emotional themes, resilience, and human vulnerability. Having achieved widespread recognition as a charismatic actor on a critically acclaimed television series, he had successfully pivoted into directing, proving himself to be a filmmaker capable of handling delicate, emotionally charged source material and turning it into box office gold. His previous directorial efforts had been praised for their sensitivity and commercial success, making him the logical choice to helm this major studio adaptation. He viewed the project as a defining milestone in his directorial career, a chance to establish himself as a premier filmmaker in Hollywood. However, his vision for the project reportedly collided head-on with the actress's creative instincts, leading to an environment where two strong-willed creators fought for ultimate artistic control over the film. A behind-the-scenes power struggle that eventually leaked into the public consciousness and laid the groundwork for their subsequent legal warfare. The fallout from this fractured collaboration has sent shockwaves through the entire film industry, serving as a cautionary tale for studios, producers, and talent agencies across Hollywood. The fact that a single production could result in $60 million in legal fees for the main lawsuits, followed by an entirely separate multi-million-dollar battle over defamation costs, has forced industry executives to re-examine how they manage creative conflicts and workplace environment protocols on high-profile film sets. It highlights the immense financial risks that studios face when their top-tier talent engages in open, unchecked warfare. The lingering question of how much the director will ultimately have to pay the actress remains a critical point of interest for legal scholars and industry insiders alike, as Judge Lewis Liman's final assessment will likely establish a new precedent for how damage and legal fees are awarded in the aftermath of high-stakes celebrity defamation dismissals, as the court deliberates on the requested 7-day extension and prepares to evaluate the mountains of billing submissions from the Wilkie law firm. The director faces an incredibly difficult and uncertain road ahead. Having seen his $400 million defamation suit thoroughly dismantled, he must now find a way to navigate the financial and professional repercussions of this ongoing onslaught. For a director who fought so hard to establish a reputation as an empathetic and conscious storyteller, the persistent association with workplace toxicity and high-profile litigation has created an immense hurdle for his future aspirations. His ability to secure financing for future directorial projects, attract top-tier acting talent, and rebuild alliances with major Hollywood studios hinges entirely on how he survives this final financial reckoning. The stakes could not be higher for him as he attempts to minimize the impending financial damage while quietly plotting his own path toward professional redemption away from the suffocating glare of the courtroom. Meanwhile, the actress's legal team remains resolute. confident that their meticulous documentation will justify a massive financial award that will hold the director fully accountable for what they have characterized as a frivolous and retaliatory defamation campaign. The request for more time to submit their initial brief, far from being a sign of weakness, reflects a calculated, precise approach to ensuring that their financial claims are airtight and completely beyond reproach. Every hour of international travel, every consultation with senior counsel, and every page of legal research is being itemized to present the court with an undeniable calculation of the costs of this conflict. This relentless pursuit of financial restitution serves as a stark reminder that in the upper echelons of show business, battles are not truly won when the cameras stop rolling, or even when a settlement is signed. But when the final financial ledgers are balanced and one side is left holding the bill, ultimately, this epic confrontation between two of Hollywood's most ambitious figures stands as a stark monument to the immense pressures, volatile egos, and staggering financial realities of the modern entertainment landscape. It is a narrative that has captivated audiences not because of the glamour, but because of the raw, unvarnished human conflict that it revealed beneath the polished surface of celebrity. As this final chapter over legal fees moves toward its inevitable conclusion in the courtroom of Judge Liman, both the actress and the director are preparing for a future that will forever be shaped by the scars of this historic battle. The actress continues her relentless march toward a spectacular professional comeback, driven by a desire to let her future work eclipse her past legal turmoils, while the director faces the daunting task of rebuilding his career from the ground up. Their intertwined journeys will remain a powerful testament to the volatile nature of creative collaboration and the devastating, multi-million-dollar consequences that occur when the delicate balance of Hollywood power completely shatters.